worked. We're going to have a small crowd today, people. We're going to have a small crowd. This is one of those days where we execute our members only show. We will have about, 10 people in here, maybe, if 10 people. But it's that time. It's that time to make sure that people see the value in the show, right? Because one of our hottest shows. Shout out to all of my day ones and my stay ones, my people who have been rocking with me. Jeez. Yeah, I think we're going to keep this one over here in the members only channel. But we might as well get to, this is going to be a heavy hitter right here. We might as well go ahead and let our lunatics out of the bag. Who is that? Who is that? Let's go, let's go. Give me 1 second, people, so we can get this thing going. I don't care. It's a small amount of people in here, but they'll catch on sooner or later. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. There we go. But yeah, shout out to my day ones and my stay ones, my people who make sure that this thing keeps on popping off. If you are not, well, if you're a member, you can see this, but if you're not a member, you can't see it. We're going to start going ahead and doing some of the shows in the members only. Some of you, if you want to, you can, matter of fact, I'll do it. You can let the people on Facebook know today's a members only show. Let me see something. Hold on. YouTube. The hell? The hell? What's the name? Can see us. Okay, Facebook can see us. Well, you guys slid through the cracks today because I had this set to where nobody can see it except for the members only. But we definitely have a gun smoking show today. We definitely have one for the books. Every so often, you guys catch me in a place where I can say, this is probably our top 5 hottest shows. And people, this is one of those ones. This is definitely one of those ones. Again, shout out to my day ones and my stay ones, the people who are members of the show. The inner circle, my inner circle. If you have not become a member of the show yet, you will miss a lot of our hot shows. If you have not become a member on YouTube, you will more likely miss a lot of our hot shows because as you can see on YouTube right now, only the members can see today's show. Today's show is going to be a bomb buster. You are not going to want to miss today's show. We're going to talk about something that a lot of you probably have not delved deep into in quite some time. A lot of you don't understand the troubles that you've gotten into in relationships. A lot of you don't understand from the perspective of what went wrong, things of that nature. And it's because you have never really thoroughly examined the nature of a woman. It's not that women are bad people. That's not what we're dealing with. And we're going to get into the men aspect of men too. The only reason that some of you can say, well, what about the men? Is because you don't understand we are two entirely different species. We are two entirely different species. Men don't need the maintenancing that women do. When men do some BS, we were fully aware that we did some BS. We were fully aware of it. We either tried to get away with it, thought we were going to get away with it or something like that. We didn't fool ourselves into believing we did something right. A woman can do this. A woman can fool herself into believing she'll do some things like this. Well, 3 years ago, he did, right? She'll try to convince herself that that bull crap that she's about to do is justified because of what you did 3 years ago. Men don't do that. We simply choose to do some BS. The reason that that's cool is because we can still understand that we did something wrong. We can still understand that we did something wrong. And in understanding that we did something wrong, it makes it easier for us to course correct when it comes time to course correct. Oh, where are my people at? It's awful quiet down there. Miss She Said is definitely in the building. Listen, you're definitely going to want to tune into this show, as much of it as you can watch, because this aspect of relationships, I haven't seen it talked about anywhere to this degree. I haven't seen it talked about. People are going through it. You can look all through social media and you can tell people are going through it without any answers. They're going through it without any answers. That's what's causing this thing to be so crazy. Listen, what we're talking about today, people, a woman's nature. You guys aren't getting into it with women. You're getting into it with the nature of a woman. And what I advise you guys to pay attention to this show, as men, we have to adjust to a woman's nature because that's the aspect of them that they can't change. A woman's nature is just that. It's her nature. A dog's nature is to bark, right? The wind's nature is to blow. We have to judge them by their nature and not by anything that they tell us, not by anything that we see of them. We have to judge women based on what the worst case scenario of their nature could be and ask ourselves, could we deal with that? That's what we're dealing with. We have to judge women based on how well they manage and regulate their nature, because this is what defines a woman as a good woman. Listen, I think we think, oh, that's a really good woman right there, and things like that. I think we view things in terms like that. All women have the ability for that monster to rise up like a hurricane and leave an aftermath. But do you know why you don't see that in some women? Some women have simply learned to regulate themselves better, to manage their nature better, right? That is what defines a woman as a good woman. The nature's going to be in her. You can bank on that. How well she can manage and regulate it is going to determine how good of a woman she can be. There are some cases where women can be lower level proficient at managing and governing their nature. These are the women that we're complaining about today. These are the women that we see in society today raising all manner of hell. Women who simply have never figured out how to control that monster rising up in them. Listen, don't get it twisted. Men have one in them too. We have to regulate ours or people will lose their lives in the streets effortlessly, right? But we're talking about women for right now. Again, there are some cases where women can be lower level proficient at managing and governing her nature. But in order for it to be doable, this relationship to be doable, she has to hand over a significant amount of control of her life to a man in order for him to control and govern the parts of her that she's not strong enough to control and govern. She just rises. It just happens, right? A woman a woman can wake up and decide she no longer wants to be in this 15-year marriage. And if something does not regulate that thing, if something does not get a hold of that thing and shake it up a little bit, your whole world will be upended and you won't even know why. Something has to govern the parts of that woman's nature that she is not strong enough to govern. Other than that, her nature is going to get the best of her and going to do something that you never would have thought you could expect out of her. Right? The women in today's society who you see behaving in a way that impresses you, right? In a way that increases their value. in a way that makes them to be able to coincide with a man and be interested in doing selfless things that make being around her good, that is a woman who has spent significant time around the leadership of a man at one point in time in her life or another. It's almost like, due to her having experienced being around a man, knowing men well enough to know the things that accommodate men's lives, the things that irritate them, the things that are unpleasant to them, she saw it in the interaction with her mother and father. She saw it in the interaction with her auntie and her uncle. And even at that time right there, she didn't know it, but it was uploading into her database. It was uploading into her understanding. It was uploading into her femininity. She saw these things. So instantly, when she was old enough for her own relationships, it was like autopilot, right? It was like autopilot. Not going to read that foolishness. Let me get to... These men down here do not trust. No, I won't say nature equals habits. I won't say that. I'll say, if a woman does not course correct herself, or she does not get help course correcting, the things that her nature causes to happen can become habits, but those things are supposed to be interrupted by structure, by love, right? Because if they're not interrupted, they'll become habits. They'll become a lifestyle. A woman's nature is things happening, right? Habit's not the right word, but I will say this. A woman's nature is already programmed. A computer's nature is to follow programming. So a woman does have distinct signature. Her nature does have a distinct signature in what we can expect out of it. It does have a distinct signature in what we can expect out of it. Listen, the Bible, the Bible lays it out clearly. The Bible lays this thing out clearly. There's high-level cautionary tales about a woman's nature. But this woman right here, who has been under the leadership, I don't care who it was, her uncle, her grandfather, her dad, when that woman right there is old enough for a relationship, everything that she saw, everything that she remembers, it starts to kick in like autopilot, right? The things that she saw her auntie do that irritated her uncle, she instantly knew to stay away from a lot of those things in her own relationship. The things that made her grandfather smile when her grandmother did them, right? Because she saw them so often, they're not considered doing too much to her, right? They're not considered, I ain't kissing no ass. She saw them repetitiously. So it was easier for her to do them without her ego kicking in and causing her to buck against doing something that will make this man feel good. These are women who are not only easy to deal with, these are women who are pleasant to be around. Just think about it. Think about it. The most fatal thing about a pop quiz is not knowing it's coming, right? The people who fare well with pop quizzes are people who have either studied or people who have somehow gotten the answers to the test. A woman who has saw the interaction between an assertive man and a woman, she got the answers to the pop quiz long before the pop quiz ever even arrived. I'm going to say it again. These are women who are not only easy to deal with, but these are women who are pleasant to be around. Listen, trust. Her nature is still in her. And if that thing ever decides to roar, it can most definitely set it off, even to the tune of destroying an entire family. I know a lot of you have seen this. A lot of you have seen this. You really need to pay attention to the damage that a woman can really do. We have a certain amount of time that we are destined on this earth. And there's things that we have to do. Some of it is a lot of work and things of that nature. Uh, a lot of it takes us a lot of time to accomplish. Could you imagine working for 40 years to accomplish some things, to provide some things, and you look up one day after 40 years and your marriage is over? Let's say it for what it is. Your life is over. Because that's what you've been working for and building towards, the life that you already had visioned in your head. A woman who has not spent significant amounts of time under the leadership of a man, or a woman who does not know the significance of being under the leadership of a man, she can destroy an existence. But a woman who is locked in with an assertive man, who will not only voice his opinion when disturbances start taking place, he will put into motion the mechanics that restore order before things even get far out of hand. This is why a certain caliber of man is required. It's almost like resetting her. Listen, I don't care what any of you say. People's Champ definitely in the building. Salute to all of my people in this Happy New Year, motherfucker. If we really understood the nature of a woman, I don't think we would judge women so harshly. You guys familiar with Sybil, the movie Sybil? These people are almost battling with two separate personalities. And one of those personalities is a mother effer, for real. Now, I will say this. The human side of a woman can just be nasty. She can just be nasty. For once, Shrimpina said something that makes sense. She said, understand yourselves first. I think it's important for all of us to do that. But if you're going to be dating, you really do need to study the nature of the opposite sex, right? It's a cheat code. It's a cheat code because once you study what the historical nature of your woman or what your man has been, you don't have to wait till the BS happens to start pulling out your toolbox and fixing it. You can start anticipating it and already know what to put in place for when that thing does happen. And therefore, when it does happen, you've already been anticipating it, so you already have a quick fix right here by the side of the bed. But you must know that nature. Think about this. Think about if you were the first person on earth and there was a pit bull over here, and this thing is scratching towards you 100 miles an hour. 100 miles an hour. Because you don't know what to expect. You've never seen this thing in action. This thing is foaming at the mouth, running at you 100 miles an hour. You're about to get shook, half unconscious. But seeing that we know the nature, when we even see a pit bull on the chain, popping that chain and barking, we know to proceed with high-level caution. And we also have it running in our heads, what would I do if that chain accidentally snapped? So we're prepared a little bit. With that woman, it's the very same thing. A woman's biology and her nature needs to be studied so you can know what you're up against. And it requires a man of means, an assertive man, to be able to call that thing out when he sees her nature arising. It's almost like resetting her. You need to understand the levels of damage that an unchecked nature of a woman can do. There's been movies after it. You guys have seen it. There has been movies, documentaries behind this mess. And if you don't understand, let me give you an example. For somebody to give a man at work a blowjob, swallow his nut, come back home and kiss her husband. We know it takes place, right? Imagine what it takes for a woman to not only cheat, but let the man she cheats with nut inside of her body and get her pregnant. You shouldn't be able to conceive what has to be going on inside of a woman to allow her to go that far. He gets the nut in you too? He gets to get you pregnant? Not only get her pregnant, but let that child sit in the house next to her husband for 25 years, knowing that that's not really his son. Every day, she watches that child get up and go to the refrigerator while her husband sits on the couch. And she knows damn well that is the semen of another man on legs walking through that house. She knows that man has no clue. We are talking about a downright dirty individual. This is what the hurricane in a woman's nature can rise to be if it is left unchecked. I'll also go as far as to say this. Her nature is so powerful and disruptive, a woman also needs to have a healthy fear of a man inside of her. I don't give a damn. I said it. Turbulence, people. A woman needs to have a healthy fear of a man inside of her. That's how powerful and disruptive a woman's nature can be. It's so disruptive and destructive to where she needs to have a healthy fear of her man. She needs to know that there are things that she can do that will awaken a disruptive beast inside of you as well. And it needs to be a beast that she's got a glimpse of before and knows for a fact she doesn't want to get a visit from again. Because when your woman gets ready to blow that man's cock at work, at least she will have inside of her what is necessary to make her think twice about it. Lord God up in heaven above, if Tony finds out that I did something like this, that's the thing that needs to pop up in her mind to prevent you from losing everything that you've worked 25 years for. There needs to be a time or two where she's seen that disruptive force inside of you awaken. I don't care if it wasn't something really, really major that she did, right? There needs to be a time that that woman has saw you destroy the whole left-hand side of that house. Or at least she needs to have seen your temper flare up to where she knows that you're not playing. And I know what I'm saying sounds crazy. But what sounds crazier than that is for you to ignore the storm that a woman's true nature can bring into your home and into your life. We've seen it. It's things like that. Look, I got so many video clips floating through my mind right now. We're talking about damage. There's a word called irreparable damage, meaning it can't be fixed. See, men are fixers. We're pretty good fixers. Things get tore up, and we know how to fix certain things. You know what hurts men more than anything? When we see damage and we know, I can't fix that. That really F's men up, seriously. There's things that are like a hurricane. Once that thing is unleashed, the damage that is done by it is irreparable. Finding out that the children aren't yours, right? Finding out she's been letting another man inside of her for months. She's been letting another man inside of her for years. Irreparable, right? You don't believe me? You can't. There's no way this is real. You fucking kidding me?
just launched the most explosive lawsuit in reality TV history, and the target? His own wife and his own teammate. After that DNA bombshell confirmed Chris Webber is the real father of Jackie's daughter, Doug didn't cry. He didn't beg. He lawyered up, and now Jackie Christie and Chris Webber are officially being sued for paternity fraud, identity deception, emotional distress, and over $4.6 million in damages. This isn't just about betrayal anymore. This is about documents, contracts, back child support, and the legacy they tried to steal. Jackie's brand is collapsing. Chris's endorsements are evaporating. And Chantel? She's caught between two last names, one courtroom, and a lie that never stops growing. Doug was silent for 2 decades. Now, he's coming for everything. And the court system? It's wide open. Now?
Look at this. This woman has decimated. That can't be fixed. It can never be fixed. The best that he could do is tell that daughter that he thought was his, I'll never stop loving you. I'll never stop treating you like you're mine. But there's a difference. I'm telling you guys, a woman needs to have a healthy fear of you, or things can happen. Finding out she's been blowing another man's cock, right? Coming home to you like it's nothing. Finding out that that man at work who's been blowing her back out, unlike anything she's ever experienced, that man has convinced her to secretly be going behind your back and going in your bank account periodically, sporadically, giving him thousands of dollars of the money that you've been saving up to make your guys' later years of your lives comfortable. Money that you had saved up for your son, who's not really your son's, college tuition. So you have to ask yourself, what's more important? Letting her see once or twice the disruptive force that can come out of a man? Or letting her set your life back 20 years because she never saw enough to fear of you to force her nature back down when it starts rising? Think about it. We all know that crack makes significant amounts of money. But most of us with good sense, we don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. Because we know the repercussions are so severe that you can keep your $10,000 a week. I'd rather make minimum wage at my job, bringing home $800 every 2 weeks, than experience the repercussions of betraying the American government in that way. The American government has instilled fear in us, so we don't even think that the juice is worth the squeeze. Your woman needs some of that up in her. And for those of you who might look at it like, well, if she doesn't want to love me, I don't want her to love me. I want my girl to not cheat because she doesn't want to cheat. Well, it's one and the same, people. It's one and the same. You have to look at it like it's one and the same. As long as you shield her from the unnecessary amounts of mischief that she can get into, the more she can focus on all the good things that you've done for her and focus on the love that she has for you, right? That's what she needs to be focused on. Yeah. The world governments have instilled fear and obedience. They proved that with the pandemic. Sometimes fear is better than respect. Sweet said protect her from herself. Facts. A woman will cheat because she wants to cheat. You can minimize the probability. This is proven every day. It's a fact. It's proven every day. When we are aware of repercussions, it makes us think twice. Listen, Council Estate has said this several times. My father has been passed for 30 years, and I'm still scared to disappoint him. In that instance, I just walk away. Yeah, and abandon everything that it's taken you 20 years to work for. Doesn't make sense to me, but I respect everybody's thoughts. Look, I bought a $500,000 house with someone, and now we are going to split up. We only have a certain amount of time on this planet. In most cases, you don't have enough time to go back and make that right. Well, let me go. Never mind. Biology. In a lot of cases, I prefer fear over respect. Seriously. Once you create an environment like this, the more she can focus on all and remember all of the cool things that you've done for her and incubate her love for you and cause it to amplify, right? Because at the end of the day, it's not really about how much you love each other. It's about you two building a fortress that will see you both through to the end of life comfortably without struggles. That's what this thing is really about. You know, I think it's rather childish for us to be running around saying, I want that giddy feeling in my stomach and all of that bull crap. You want a comfortable ending. But I'll say this. It's also up to a man to be the caliber of man who will reel her back in when he sees small things swirling up inside of her nature. It requires a certain type of man to be able to see those things long before they ever blossom. You need to be able to see some things that she's been demonstrating over the past week. Some odd behaviors that you don't approve of, but on a small scale, right? On a small scale. Listen, the reason I tell you guys to pay attention to the little things, I'm not talking about her knocking over the salt shaker over. I'm talking about the little things that if you subconsciously in your mind were to magnify them by 5, in your head, you'd say they could be a serious situation to your family. Magnify them. If you want to know, are you just griping or should you really be, paying attention to these little odd behaviors you're seeing of her over the last 2 weeks? Ask yourself, those things that I'm seeing in her, if they were to amplify times 5, do I think that they could be a problem inside of my marriage, inside of my family, inside of my household? And if you could say, hell yeah, it's time for you to check that. The smart mouth, the talking back, that if it became a habit, you could honestly say you could see it being a Category 3 storm inside your house. You nip that in the bud the first couple of times that she tries you. You nip it in the bud ASAP. And after you set it off, you let her see 10% of that disruptive force inside of a man's nature. You let her know, babe, listen, I'm sorry that you had to see that side of me, but I don't play that. I'm here for you. I've shown you I'll do anything for you. I'll always have your back, but I don't tolerate disrespect. And I don't tolerate disrespect, right? And that's how you set the tone for the structure in that house without that woman having to live in fear of you. Because you don't want her living in fear of you, right? She knows that she doesn't have to walk around on edge. When you come at her like that, that's how she feels. She knows and understands that she doesn't have to walk around on eggshells afraid of you for no reason. But that there are certain things that I can do that I'll likely get in trouble for. He just showed me. This nigga kind of just flipped out a little bit. Right? Shout out to all of my members down here rocking with us. You already know what it is. Listen. Shout out to SJ down there rocking with us. KD definitely in the building. Listen, we've been taught to believe certain things are bad. It's called order. It's called structure. And God assigned that to men. Guess what? He also assigned it to women over the children. I think women need to really intentionally learn how to desire, to be attracted to being under structure again, to being under leadership again. It was when you had the best lives. It was when you performed the best. It was when your reputations were the best. The women that we're talking about, those women's names are echoed today. Our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers. People sit up and think about those women today, 40, 50 years later, and a single tear drops down their eye because of the impact that those women left on us, because of the quality of woman that they were, because of all of the memories we had of them holding it down, making a way out of no way, right? Cooking some spaghetti, and when it wasn't enough, dumping 2 extra cans of Chef Boyardee in it to make it enough. Putting together 200-person family reunions. Making sure the children went to church every Sunday. They even made us better people. You people are for our worst. You're taking children into the bathroom, giving them your cell phones while the TikTok live is on, and telling them, I'm going to shut this door for 60 seconds. Now you can say any curse word that you ever wanted to say, and now I'm going to come back in 60 seconds. You better be done. You need factory reset. You need factory reset. You've learned how to love too much freedom, and that freedom is destroying you in front of the entire world. What people think about you is so low, and it's not because people want to pick on you. That's definitely not the reason. When we hear the word woman today, honor is not what think about it. Our girls who come up on this panel, when people hear them speak, when people hear their beliefs, you see heart eyes down there in the comments. You hear people over here talking about, she's so amazing. You know why? Because we're not used to seeing that good of it, that honorable type of behavior. So when they see it come up here, they're looking at it like it's a delicacy. Something foreign. Something that we've heard of it, but no one's really often seen it. You guys have gotten out of pocket. A woman needs to have a healthy fear of her man inside of her. I don't care what you say. I'm not talking about going upside her head. Your woman needs to know that I can't really play with him full throttle. She needs to know that there are certain things that I can do that I'll likely get in trouble for. I think a lot of you don't really know what a woman is. You don't know what her description in the Bible is, and therefore you don't know how to handle her. You don't know why you need to handle her. Think about it. Listen to how all of the women online say, not just any man can handle me. I need a masculine man, right? They say it. They're telling you the truth, because who knows a woman's nature and what they're capable of better than a woman, right?
So her sugar daddy took the life of the whole family, and now people are arguing if it's her fault. You see, 61-year-old Jose admitted to being in an intimate relationship with Geraldine. Come to find out, they even used to work together. He claims he took Geraldine's life because she would not leave her husband even after the amount of money he gave her to get a new apartment. He didn't account for her bringing her son, so after he popped her, he then threw the son headfirst into like a little pond, and then the son proceeded to choke on the water.
Let me take that back. The caption is, she cheated and it cost everyone. That's the woman. That's her husband on the right. And that's their son. That was their son at the bottom. This woman's nature, and I'm not, kicking her. I'm not disrespecting her honor or anything. But I'm giving you guys a descriptive of what a woman's nature, if left unchecked, can get into. This woman was having an affair at work. She was playing games with the older man that she was having an affair with, using him. Lying, telling things like, I'm going to leave my husband for you and things of that nature. And you can only stretch a lie out for so long until the person you're lying to expects to see some action. Listen, this man popped her. Well, let's go.
Sugar daddy took the life of the whole family, and now people are arguing if it's her fault. You see, 61-year-old Jose admitted to being in an intimate relationship with Geraldine. Gonna find out they even used to work together. He claims he took Geraldine's life because she would not leave her husband even after the amount of money he gave her to get a new apartment. He didn't account for her bringing her son, so after he popped her, he then threw the son headfirst into like a...
Look at that. The baby had to pay for it. The damn baby had to pay for it. I am not trying to disgrace this woman's honor or anything of like that, whatever it is that This woman is responsible for her husband and her small child being brutally taken out. He threw her newborn son into a shallow piece of water where the son inhaled so much mud that he died of drowning in mud. I'm telling you guys, you better be peeping out your woman's nature. You better be periodically scanning her for little things, because it'll be someone you never would have thought would get out of pocket to this degree.
Little pond, and then the son proceeded to choke on the water. Rest in peace. That's when he told the husband about the affair so they could link up. They got in a fist fight, and then he proceeded to pop the husband, claiming that the husband dropped his firearm. He picked it up and proceeded to use it on the husband. People said it's wrong to blame the wife and say if she didn't have the affair, everyone would still be alive. Well, we're really gonna sit here and act like
it's crazy. I'm telling you guys, think about it. Listen to how all of the women online say, not just any man can handle me. I need a masculine man. They're telling you the truth because no one knows the true storm of a woman's nature and what they're capable of than them. They also know what it is that will get them back in check once they start getting out of check. It's a man who doesn't play. It's a man who doesn't play. But here's the thing. In order for you to be the caliber of man who will check her and set the tone in the relationship when you need to, you can't be the type of man who's overly caught up in that relationship. Because if you're overly caught up in that relationship, you will have a propensity to avoid doing any of the things that you think will make her unhappy, including reeling her back in when necessary, checking her when necessary. Relationships must have order inside of them, or those things can get high-level wicked really fast. Those things can mess multitudes of lives up. I'm not talking about mess one life up. A relationship where chaos explodes in it can mess up 10 lives forever. People will be spending the rest of their lives trying to rebound from the decisions of one person. When there is no order established inside of a relationship, somebody will go as far as they're allowed to go. Listen, even a woman, she needs to set the tone and let a man know that there are things that he can do that will definitely cause him to lose her as a valuable woman. The first time that man comes home drunk and sets it off for no reason, acts a complete ASS, and makes her fearful, the very next day, he needs to come home from work and 30% of her belongings are gone. You're at your mother's house. You're at your sister's house. And this is when the roles reverse. You need to let him know, I care about you. And my plans were to spend the rest of my life with you, right? But the level of disrespect that you showed me without me deserving it, I don't play that. And I won't tolerate it. Before I accept that type of behavior from you again, I will start my entire life over. A woman needs to set the tone to that extent. Unnecessary disrespect should not be tolerated. And that needs communicated. I believe this. I believe that woman, let's say it's his first time snapping out like that. I think that's when it's the best. Because it's more impactful. If he believes, damn, that was my first time getting drunk and tripping, and he came home from work and 30% of her belongings were gone, that's when she tells him, I promise you I won't tolerate that. Before I allow myself to be treated like that, as good of a woman as I am, I will start my entire life. I will scrap the last 15 years we've spent together, and I will start my life over. Tell him you know for a fact that you're worth more than that. And that even you can't allow yourself to be treated like clearance rack goods. Listen, make him beg you to come back home. Right? Make it hard for him. Then cave in. Let him know, I'm coming back. I'm coming back home. You're not even going to put up much. Tell him, I'm not even going to put up much fight, babe. But I'm guaranteeing you, if you ever treat me like that again, if you ever treat me like trash, you won't be able to find me. See, order needs to be established in the relationship. It's like the law being established. Governing definitely needs to take place inside of a relationship, just like a system with everything else. And that's how systems run smooth and keep an environment in check. But I will stress this again. It's typically a woman's nature that has the most potential to do the highest levels of damage. Listen, not only inside of a relationship, but inside of a lifetime. Men are more calculated. Men are more calculated. We're not oblivious to the bull crap that we do. What the hell just happened? Hold on. I'm not going for this. There's no way. There's no way. Shout out to AJ in this situation, setting it off with us, as usual. Somebody done disturbed our lightning storm or something. I think AJ might have lit our lightning storm up a little bit too much yesterday or something. What's going on here? Let me see something. Men and women, we definitely do our dirt differently. We definitely do our dirt differently. Yes, Big Duck said vetting your wife is very. Listen, I can't put enough stress on that. Vetting your life is quite possibly the most important thing you're going to do outside of your relationship with God. Yeah, that's crazy. Shout out to my brother ZF up in this situation, rocking with the. God. I'm over here pissed off now. And I think I did that yesterday. I think I did. But I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Let's see something here. That is BS. Boom. Give me a second. You know what? Should I do that? No, I'm not going to do that. I didn't do anything. That's crazy. Bull crap. Who did that? Okay, my fault, people, my fault. But listen, I think it's very important for us to understand what's really going on, because a lot of us don't. I'm not gonna say us because I definitely know what's going on. You know how we know that what's being said is true? Because some of the things that we see and hear about them doing, that shouldn't even be possible, right? You really let another man nut in you, got pregnant, and tried to convince your man that it was his baby? Diabolical. Seriously, diabolical. That's not even supposed to be possible. You know what? I'm going to get a woman up here to tell us how that bullcrap works. How do you let him nut in you, man? My gosh. He gets the nut in you too. You already cheated on me. He gets the nut in you. You can't control any of that. You can't say, okay, now hell, I'm going too far now. I know I'm about to let him bust me down. My panties is already off. I'm kissing him like a mother effer right now. I'm married. Okay, now that's bad enough. I'm going to let him finish in me. See, what we know is it's like the highest levels of emotions. The reason that we know is because they can have 2 children by 2 different men and know the damage that's done to them. But the third man can be on top of them. Just let me come in you, babe. Yes, daddy. So that right there tells you that you can get them out of control. You can get them out of control. Which means they can just slide out of control on their own. They can just slide out of control. I think the deadly part about that is when they slide out of control, when they wake up out of control out of the bed, you don't know anything about it. When she wakes up, you don't know what her intentions are. Them Canes in this situation rocking with us. You already know what it is. AJ in this mother with the super chat. What the hell done happened to our... Boy, I paid good money for that crap, but we'll have it back fixed tomorrow. Listen, but like I was saying, I think that's the explosive part. When you don't know that she went to sleep thinking about a coworker. Listen, you even heard her over there. Listen, a couple of times she over there in the bed. You don't know she's having a dream about sucking a coworker's cock right there, laying in the bed next to you. Now she gets up, can't wait to go to work. You're like, hey, slow down. Where the hell you think you're going? I gotta go to work, babe. Listen, you usually don't go to work for another hour. I know, baby. She can't wait to go juggle this man's balls. That's why, in order to protect your investments and your legacy, you have to periodically be observing a woman. Because I'm telling you guys, when a woman gets out of hand, it's different than when a man gets out of hand. When a man gets out of hand, it's BS, no doubt about it. It's big time BS. But I'm talking about a woman's is so subtle that it explodes and the entire household is decimated. The entire household is decimated. Some of the things cannot be repaired. Finding out children are not yours. That's why I tell you guys, in some cases, fear is better than respect. A woman needs to know that there are things that she can do that will piss you all the way off. There needs to be a side of you that your woman has gotten a glimpse of, but doesn't really like to get visits from. I'm telling you, she needs to know. Relationships must have order inside of them. And that's for both parties. But what I stress to you guys, don't destroy situations where you guys have spent years building something together. That's nuts. You don't have those same years to rebuild it. You don't. When men mess up, we're more calculated. The things that we do, we kind of weigh the pros and cons of doing them and the impact that they'll carry if we're busted doing them. Now, unfortunately, that's not how women operate. Women make their moves, even catastrophic moves, based off of emotions. So it's almost like hearing voices that lead her down a path that resets your life back 20 years. Do you know what a life reset of 20 years is? When a man goes off rail, our worst case scenario doesn't even carry the potential to do the damage that a woman's worst case scenario carries. Worst case scenario, a man cheats, he has a baby by another woman. Terrible. It's terrible, terrible. But the man can still prove his true love for his wife by taking care of the illegitimate child, but demonstrating a focus, a tunnel vision of type of love, repentance, and regret to his wife. He can pledge to spend a lifetime making that thing better with his wife. A woman, on the other hand, once a man gets a hold of a woman, everything about her gets violated. Her soul gets violated. Her body gets penetrated. Her mind gets violated. Her physical body gets violated and stretched, right? The things that take place with a woman can't be wiped off with a rag. A man, he can still be viewed as a woman's, let's say, property. I don't give a damn. A man can still be viewed as his wife's property. There's no scratches, no scrapes, and no usage left on the man after he betrays his woman. He can wipe himself off with a rag, literally. The woman, she will be walking around with trace evidence of the man she betrayed her husband with inside her DNA for quite some time. For quite some time. Her vajayjay will have gotten manipulated to the size of that man's penis who she cheated on her husband with. Her intimacy and her thoughts of that man will carry on for a significant portion of the time, if it ever disappears. Listen, not only that, the bastard child that she brings home of another man, the husband will have to look at every day as evidence of what she did for the rest of their lives. That child will be a symbolic token of when she was sucking that nigga's cock. Do you know how difficult it will be for a relationship to survive that? I'm telling you, people, it may be a double standard. You may not like to hear it said, but it's different. Both are wrong, but one comes with significantly heavier impact. Which is why when you're dealing with a woman, you always have to be tending to her with preventative maintenance, right? Curing the damage that a woman can do is simply preventing it from ever happening. Because once that bell gets rung, you can't unring it. There will be grandmothers putting up college tuition for this boy for years. Cousins in Illinois who are crazy about this boy, right? Aunties who have been sending him money for school shopping every year since he was in the 4th grade, who, unbeknownst to them, that boy isn't a bit related to them. Again, people, preventative maintenance. It's preventative maintenance. Shout out to AJ in this situation. If she cheats, it's our fault. Would they be saying, you weren't spending enough time with me? I felt neglected. No, just say the Negro was cute. Just say that. Thailand is definitely in the building. I want to see something. Let me see something. Let me see something. Let me see something here. I just want to get a glimpse of. Where is that? What the hell is going on here? Oh. Come on. What the hell is going on? Is that how that works? Wow, this was bad. Let me see something. Let me see something. Hey, ZF, is this what you, yeah. You know what I'm looking at over here? Like, whoa. But it's all good. It's all good. This isn't doing what I thought it was going to do. This is not doing what I thought it was going to do. So let me see something here. Let me see something. Let me see if this is possible. Let me see if this is possible. I want to see something. It doesn't look like it's possible. Is it? I think it is. Let me see. Now let me see something here. Listen, I'm going to do something again just to show you guys what I'm talking about. I want to show you guys what we're talking about. Like, and women, they don't even understand the magnitude, the tune of trouble. Like when they're getting in serious trouble, they don't really even know how serious it could be.
So her sugar daddy took the life of the whole family, and now people are arguing if it's her fault. You see, 61-year-old Jose admitted to being in an intimate relationship with Geraldine. Come to find out they even used to work together. He claims he took Geraldine's life because she would not leave her husband even after the amount of money he gave her to get a new apartment. He didn't account for her bringing her son, so after he popped her, he then threw the son headfirst into like a little pond, and then the son proceeded to choke on the water. Rest in peace. That's when he told the husband about the affair so they could link up. They got in a fist fight, and then he proceeded to pop the husband, claiming that the husband dropped his firearm. He picked it up and proceeded to use it on the husband. People said it's wrong to blame the wife and say if she didn't have the affair, everyone would still be alive. Well, we're really gonna sit here and act like,
hey, I mean, listen, somebody down in the who drop a super chat. I think we have it fixed. I think I did something that somebody drop a super chat. Let us see if we can get a lightning storm going on. I think, and I'm glad, if that's right what I did, then I'm glad that I know that that's what happens when you do that. And something else just increased, so I know I'm right. Hit us off with a super chat, somebody, so we can get a lightning storm going on. It's all good, Council Estate. You've been rocking with us. You've been rocking with us. What'd he say? Oh, right. I'm tripping, but it's all good. I guess it is. Let me see. Approaching New Year's. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good. What I'm telling you guys is this. Shout out to my, you already knew what was going on. Stop playing with AJ over here in this situation. Up in this mother. AJ be setting that mother F off. Okay, I see we can't make no motion in members only mode. Shout out to Luna J, definitely in the building. Listen, if you really want a healthy relationship, we're just going to be honest. If you really want a healthy relationship, look, check it out. Look what my brother said. Root cause analysis equal the affair. Yeah, come on, man. Stop trying to be politically correct. I hate to say this. I truly do. I don't want to bring any dishonor to that woman's name. That woman got a whole family KIL'd, baby and all. Her nature. I don't want to speak on this. I don't want to speak on it, but I am telling you, for me to be truly, truly responsible for my children losing their lives, Lord God up in heaven above. And this is, shit, I don't give a damn. Turbulence, people. It's almost as if you have to keep this woman's nature on a leash. It is almost as if you have to keep a woman's nature on a leash. Look what it can do. Okay, my people up in here setting it off one more. Top Bear Real Estate Solutions in this situation with the super chat. Listen, you got me with that. Real Estate Solutions one, I guess. Hold on, where Biggs at? He said, what up, Biggs? Where Biggs at? Silently creeping through this mother effer. Biggs is definitely in the building. Listen, I'm telling you guys this. Those of you who even think you have amazing women, I believe this. I believe the true measure of a woman is how well she can govern and regulate her nature. I truly believe that. Because I believe all of them have that monster inside of them. All of them have that monster inside of them. A woman's nature has been described. There are cautionary tales littered all throughout the Bible of a woman's nature. So when we see an amazing woman, I don't believe that she's any different from that. I believe our grandmothers would have been giving head and getting their backs blew out had it not been for the structure that was placed upon them. Our grandfathers having their foots on their necks, close supervision and monitoring. That's what I believe. I believe if you let a woman off of the chain, Lord God up in heaven above. And listen, you know what? Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. I have a question. Let me see. I've never had her up here. I've never had... I have a question. And what the hell just happened? Okay. Listen, check this out. I have a question for everybody. Did women get better the more freedoms they gained? And I want to answer. I'm going to read the answers. Did women get better with more freedoms? I want to see what everyone's going to say. Look, off top, Council of State said no. Did women get better with more freedoms? Went downhill. That tells us everything that we need to know. It means that a good woman is measured by how well she can maintenance and regulate her nature. Because her nature is just like that hoe's nature. Her nature in her is just like that smart mouth girl's nature. But she has learned to regulate it better. She has learned to regulate it better. Shout out to AJ and this mother effer. They got better at failing dramatically. Your men don't want you. How is that possible? All of the links that we've went through to acquire women. How could you turn into something that turns men off? You're not supposed to have the degree of freedom that you have. You're not. A woman who has been under the authority of a man for a significant period of time in her life, or a woman who is currently under the leadership of a man, or a woman who knows the significance of being under the leadership of a man. Pay attention, people. Look, I want you guys to do this to see if your brother Stacey Prince knows what he's talking about, minus a few exceptions. Pay attention to all of the women that you have great respect for, women that you have great honor for, women that you have great things to say about. And I guarantee you, in most cases, you can admit that they have been attached to a man at one point in time of their life for a significant portion of time. Guarantee it. She can't behave by herself. And the ones who can, it's because through some form of a system, likely being attached to a man, she has saw how disappointed a man can be her. She saw how her father reacted when her mother did certain things. She learned regulating her nature. When she feels that thing swirling, you think her hoo-ha doesn't buzz and vibrate? You think she doesn't know what it's like to get horny? She learned how to regulate herself instead of go out there and get busted down just like all of these other women when she needs to get off. She learned how to regulate herself. She knows how to bring that nature back down. It may even be a little bit tough, but she knows how to bring her nature back down. You guys need to understand that your wife, you need to be paying attention to her. Looking at little things. I'm not saying you don't have a good woman. I'm telling you, you need to be paying attention to her. Looking around for little subtleties. Things that you've noticed that she's been doing for the last 30 days are a little bit off. Just small things. And I don't want you to get misconstrued what I consider small things, right? Look at the things that to you seem a little bit off and magnify them by 5. And if you could say, this thing that I'm noticing about her, if it was magnified by 5, would have the potential to cause significant disturbance in your family and your house, you need to check that thing. You pull her to the side and you question her. You investigate her before she destroys everything that it took you upwards of 40 years to establish. You need to see what's going on with her. You need to know what's going on with your woman. If that woman's nature arises, and I'm going to tell you something else about that woman's nature. That thing can be very cunning. It's designed to be able to do things without you knowing it. Women have tricked men out of empires. So be looking also for deceit, for sneakiness. Because of how she has you wrapped, how you feel about her, it can cause you to hold a blind eye to red flags. And if you leave red flags unmaintenanced for too long, they won't be red flags in a month. They will be very realistic actions that are eating away at the fabric of the foundation of your relationship and your family. Yeah, it can get ugly. I'm telling you, it can get ugly. You guys need to be examining your relationship. And I'm the only reason I'm not putting as much emphasis on the men can, but it isn't likely men that does the damage to the relationship, to the family. A woman will dismantle an entire 10-person family, leave everybody in the household needing therapy for the rest of their lives. The father end up having to tell the kids what really happened just so the kids won't be secretly holding hate against their dad because they think dad did blah, blah, blah. Now he has to keep it real with them. Now the whole family is in dismay. Children looking at mom in a way that they never would have looked at her. All kinds. It's just bad. A woman can set this mother effer off in a way. See, men are fixers. When we go out and cheat and things like that, we find ways to make it better. We find ways to make it better. They say Will down there being a bully. I can't do anything. He got the wrench. I can't do nothing with him. They say he down there acting up. Man, I give them people them renters and I get on about my business. Okay, come up here and make me, Dainty. Come up here and make me. Come up here, Dainty. Listen, I want to show you guys something. Smooth butter in the building. Listen, Dainty said, leave Red Pill podcast back in 2025. She doesn't even realize that she's not even hearing anything Red Pill. How come you can't say that you're just hearing information? Right? Weirdo. All right, people, I'm going to drop a thing. People who have questions, you can come on up because I got this show that I plan on doing where I'm supposed to have some people rocking with us tonight. So I'm going to end the show early so I can get prepared. But I just dropped a link down in the chats for those of you who have questions or you want to come up and refute my information. Now I'm trying to put a party together up in here, brother. Supposed to have some things going on up in here. You know how it is when you get 2 cancellations, it throws a thread in the whole thing? All right, right, people. Well, if we have no questions, if we have no kickback, then we're about to get up out of here, right? What the hell is going on? The hell is going on? Oh. Happy New Year's to all of my people. Salute, salute, salute. Pull it off in 2026, people. Pulling it off in 2026, whatever it is. Right?
Say good night to the bad guy. Bang, 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 bang.
Make it happen, people. Make it happen.
Get over here. She belongs to the street.
And make sure, listen, make sure that you do not end up here.